Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chicken is here. We are back today with another Boom Beach video. In today's video, guys, we are scooching over this way. We're going to go over your Season 44 starter guide. So what this video is we are going to be talking about the best general tips and tricks to get you started in Warships. We have every season, even this season, I learned some new things. It's a constant process of just trying to, get the fundamentals, get the basics down, and then go from there. So we're gonna be doing. I think what this is gonna be my crab layout is 3 Scorchers, 5 Laser Rangers. I'm actually going to be streaming the crab a little bit later on tonight at some point. So you guys don't want to miss out on that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, and also we got sneak peeks right around the corner. We got Season 44 going live in just a few days, guys. So make sure that you are subbed up to the channel if you don't want to miss any of that stuff. We have a submarine treasure here. Let's claim that for 3 crystals. Look at me. Look at me. All right, so let's dive into it, guys. So what are some of the most important things that you can do at the beginning of a warship season, right? So the biggest thing is just like Boom Beach says, come with a plan or leave in defeat, right? So how do we actually go about doing that? Now, the worst possible decision that you could make is unlocking stuff without being informed. You can, if you just start unlocking things based on what you think is good, sometimes that's fine. Sometimes the choices are fairly obvious out of the rush, like out of the gate. Like if we know it's going to be heavy rush, what I was about to say, for example, then, we know we're going to need some defenses. We know we're going to obviously have to get heavies, max them out. We know every season the first thing that we do is we max out our landing crafts right out of the gates. So there are some things that are kind of, easy to figure out, but for the most part, you want to be connected to the community. You want to have an idea of what's working for other people. There's a couple different ways you can do that. Obviously, there's social media, there's YouTube, there's, Discord, Telegram, Reddit, whatever you're... I did this yesterday, too. I don't know what's wrong. Whenever I, talk, I swallow air or something, but... maybe that means I'm talking too fast. But yeah, so right out of the gates, you want to have a plan, right? Now, how do you do that? You can stay plugged into the social medias, see what's working for other people, or you can simply just watch the leaderboard. I mean, you can get a pretty good idea of what's going on just from watching the leaderboard, just from watching attack replays, see what your opponent is hitting you with, seeing what's working, what's not. That's definitely something that I need to work on is, taking a step back sometimes, especially at the beginning of the season, not being in such a rush because... Sure, it's obviously an advantage to, start out the season and be faster than everybody and unlock everything that's good right away and just go, 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 go. Absolutely, that's a good way to play. The problem is if you make any mistakes, then it's not. Then the guys that started 3 hours after you, they're ahead because you made a mistake on the tech tree. A la last season, the chicken opening up that multi-node that I didn't need, that didn't really end up helping anything and just kind of held me back. So stuff like that, nothing will beat taking the perfect tech tree path and playing a lot. Nothing beats that. That's the magic. Obviously having a good base, but if you take the perfect tech path, if you play a lot, if you do those 2 things, even if your base is, as long as your base is average, it doesn't have to be amazing. It does have to be obviously, kind of a meta base. But you can get those just from watching the leaderboard and that kind of thing. But yeah, so the biggest thing for me anyways this season going into it is I think, one of the things that I learned last season, I mean, obviously there was the Grenadier whole kerfuffle and that nonsense, but just wait. Just be patient. It's pretty rare that it's going to benefit you at all in the long run or, in the short term to unlock something that's... especially on offense, to unlock a troop, exactly like Grenadiers is kind of what I'm talking about, but to unlock a troop that is good, or that can get you that next rank, but if there's something better later on, don't go for bullet, or, do whatever you want, but maybe it makes sense to shoot for the heavy choppers first, right? Shoot for bombardiers or laser rangers first, if those troops are after 4, 5, and 6 ER. maybe it's not worth getting heavies and Zukas, at 3 inches. Maybe it's not worth getting, rifle grenadiers or something like that when there's people at rank 22. Maybe the better play is to take a few gold chests and be patient. Wait for your time, because once you get to the good stuff, it's going to be good. We know once we get to those heavy choppers, they're going to be good every season. I don't think there's ever been a season where heavy choppers, unlocking them, has not been like a diamond push point or a good push point in general, right? So it's the basic stuff like that seems so obvious, but I still make mistakes with it. I'm sure you guys do too, now and then. But yeah, that was the biggest thing for me that I learned this season, is just don't go for what's good now. Obviously, that can pay off, and I'm not saying that you should never ever ever do that. It's just, I think for a general strategy, it's better to wait, unless that early thing is Seekers and you happen to be really good with them, or it's some other kind of troop, and again you happen to be, you're really confident in your abilities there, or getting like early barrage and artillery, something like that. There's a lot of different ways to play warships, and you got to kind of fit it around your play style. So, if getting something offensive is right up your alley with what you want to do and what you're best at, absolutely go that route. Go and do that. Go and unlock some stuff early. For me, I found that that's not the right choice. The right choice is to play a little bit more defensively, and just kind of hold off and wait for that push point. That push point is going to come. That's how I do it. That's the secret sauce. That's the secret to the Chicken's Top 500s, is you kind of lay in the weeds, you wait for your push point, you go like crazy, and then you tap the brakes a little bit. Sometimes you can keep going, sometimes you can't. It just depends on the season. But I've found that has worked the best for me. Not just in terms of competitiveness or whatever, and like top 500 and that kind of thing. It's more fun to play that way for me. Like it's more fun to. We're gonna lose the doctor here. It's more fun to unlock stuff that puts you ahead. Like the perfect warship season for me, in theory, would be you're getting that rank chest every day or every other day. Like you're slowly making that progress. When warships gets frustrating or it becomes less fun is when everyone kind of gets stuck together. And how do you get stuck together where you can't get unstuck? Unlocking things on the tech tree in the wrong order. So, like, if you get a Doom Cannon or something that's out of the way, that's, going to slow you down from getting... Ooh, we're going to die here. That's going to slow you down from getting something that's what you need right now. Then, although it's not really, like, a huge mistake or something like that to get the Doom Cannon, but it ends up costing you in the long run because now you're a little bit delayed. Now you're playing without Troop X or Defense Y or whatever it happens to be, and you can't compete because of that, because something that's further ahead is so much stronger. So yeah, I wanted to touch on that mainly for this video, and now I can talk about some of the more general stuff. That's what I'm excited about, anyways, as you can tell. Now I want to talk about some of the more general stuff. So obviously, base changes are a big thing in warships, right? Changing your base somewhat frequently is pretty huge. That can also be how you can sneak ahead or, do really well kind of out of nowhere. And the way you go about doing that is honestly, like we said, there's the socials, there's the YouTube, there's the Discords, there's the whatever. But the biggest thing is just watching the leaderboard and watching your replays. Sometimes I'll go up against the base, and the guy's not doing that well because maybe he doesn't have as much offensive tech that I do or something like that. And it's like, man, that's a crazy base that I have not seen, and I really struggled against it. So, switch to that maybe, and it's going to throw some people off. Typically for base building, it's like, unless you're one of these people that is not me, that's crazy enough to like design them and stuff like Pirate Pete. If you're one of those guys, then that's a different ball game. But sometimes just taking one of those bases, making a couple little changes to it, make it weird, make it kind of off meta a little bit. Sometimes that's just enough. But the biggest thing is watching the leaderboard and watching those replays. That's where you're really going to come ahead on the defensive side of things. And then, stay plugged in. Make sure that you're playing as frequently as you can. The whole thing that we used to have around playing times, that was really based around China, because a lot of the top players before the China server split were from China. So there was a significant advantage to playing in the morning, because we weren't going against as many of these players, because whatever, different for every time zone. Like 9 a.m. my time was like 2 or 3 a.m. China time. So sometimes, depending on the leaderboard, not always, that was the better time to push. Now that doesn't really matter. That's kind of out the window. You can kind of play whenever you want, and it doesn't really make a big difference because it's not different enough to change anything. We're kind of stuck with everybody we got, and obviously we're all in different time zones, but I don't think there's a significant advantage to doing that anymore. What is important is making sure that you stay on your chest timer. So say if you unlock your chest at the beginning of the season, keep that timer fresh, keep it updated, and just make sure you never go out of 4 to 4. Obviously, that's not a good thing because then you're going to be, slowly lagging in tech, which is what I'm going to try for the first time this season in a very long time, is playing without that, without the ability to, whoops, where did I throw that shot? Oh no, I got it. Playing without having the ability to open that first chest right away. So I think that's going to be interesting this season, just seeing how we get along, going that way. Let's throw a shock down here. Don't know if we'll get Gearheart down in one attack. Doesn't look like it. Let's see. Man, these Doom Cannons, they got some health over here, eh? Wow. Okay. Let's throw critters up there. Oh, Kavan's getting microwaved a little bit. But yeah, for the most part, that's my tips, guys. That's what I think is going to help you guys out. Like I said, there's always something to take away after the season, so it's nice to reflect and recharge during this week while we're waiting for everything, and kind of figure it out from there. So hopefully that helps you guys out. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. What is your plan for the season? Do you have a plan? Do you not have a plan? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap it up for the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch the next one, guys. Check it out. Bear.